What up, YouTube? And it's your boy Will, and today I'm gonna be doing my first ever cooking vlog. I decided to make some honey garlic wings. I'm doing something basic, but a little bit of my ingredients will be ground mustard. Doesn't matter what brand. Raw honey. You can't make honey garlic wings without honey. Weber seasoning, zesty lemon. Badia, I want to say it's Badia. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but Badia seasoned onion powder. Garlic powder. A little McCormick black ground pepper. Minced garlic. And some chopped up diced onions. I just got this. I don't want to be wasteful, so I'll just use the rest of these. First, just to make you guys aware, I did wash my hands. We're just gonna season the wings. These wings have been thawed. I let them thaw out, so they're still like extremely cold to the touch. So I just gonna season the wings. First, I'm gonna use my onion powder. Now, I actually like onion powder. So I'm going to be a little generous with it. Second, I'm going to use garlic powder. Oh, which is not open. Shows you how prepared I was for this video. So I'm going to use this garlic powder. If I can. Oh, why did I? So I'm just gonna. Take this. It's probably a safer way to open that than doing how I did it, but don't copy me. Alright. So I'm going to put that, snap that back on, and I'm going to use some garlic powder. Now, I'm not going to actually give you guys any measurements to this. The way I was raised, we just kind of go by sight. I've made honey garlic wings. What's that, like a teriyaki honey garlic wings before for a potluck, and I made a ton of them, and within like 3 hours of the potluck, all of them were gone. So that should kind of give you an idea as to how good they were. And I did get people to come back and ask me to give them recipes for it. But for this day, I'm just going to do something simple. I'm going to make them again, but not as much. So I started with my onion powder. Let's set it over there. I started with my garlic powder, and I'll put a little more garlic powder in there because I like garlic. So, and then we're gonna do some pepper. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay. And we're gonna do some Goya seasoning. You don't have to use the Goya seasoning. I just like the way it flavors the food. It just enhances the flavor. Primarily to all this, well, to most of the foods I cook using Goya seasoning, it enhances the flavor of it. So I'm just gonna use it. Just one pack is all that I would need for this amount of wings. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to, not a lot left, so I'm just going to now what I'm going to do with these, the wings have been dried, moisture from them, I've seasoned them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and I'm just going to sprinkle some up there just like that. And probably a little bit more. And I'm going to take my hands, but I'm going to wash my hands first because I've touched all those seasonings. So I want to work with clean hands, and it's very important that you wash your hands. I mean, we're preparing chicken, and we all know that chicken can carry salmonella. So you want to make sure you wash your hands and thoroughly cook your food. So I one more time. So gonna wash my hands. So what I want to do with this is I'm just gonna come over here and I'm just gonna mix all of this together. And we're going to bake these. These are going to be baked first. Then you guys know that I have a cast iron pan, and I chose to bring out the cast iron pan today because cast iron actually, I feel like it heats a lot better than the other pans that I actually have, and it retains heat more. It retains heat a lot better than the other pans that I actually have. So cast iron is actually a good thing. And besides, my mom cooks with one and my grandmother cooks with one. So kind of an old school thing, but I'm still going to use the cast iron. So what I'm going to do after I've done that is I'm going to preheat my oven till about 400. That's all I want it on. I want it on 400. If you are an impatient person, you could probably do about 425, but just cook it for less time. Now, these wings are going to go in the oven at 400 degrees for about 35-40 minutes. 35-40 minutes. They're going to go in the oven. 35-40 minutes. And I time my cooking. Yes, that's one thing I will do. I may not measure the seasoning, but I will time the cooking. So 35-40 minutes. It will go in the oven. So what I'm going to do is, because I don't really like to have a lot of mess when I'm cooking, and I don't like to have to clean a lot when I'm done, I'm going to, and this is Reynolds Wrap. It says non-stick, but I'm going to still put some cooking spray on the foil because I really don't want my nice wings to stick and then the meat start to peel off and stick to the pan, and so I don't want that to take place. And I'm going to thoroughly just spray the pan. Listen, you don't have to spray a lot of it, just thoroughly coat the pan. Once I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some tongs, because I don't want to keep having to wash my hands. I want to take some tongs, and I'm going to actually place the wings in the pan. Now you notice the seasoning that I actually use for this, really I don't believe it contains salt. Only seasoning I use that contains salt is, I believe, is this. The garlic powder, onion powder, pepper does not contain salt. And the reason why I did not use salt to season the chicken or anything that had salt in it other than this, and it wasn't a lot of this that I put up there, is because the soy sauce is actually going to give it enough seasoning In the ending process, when these are fully done, I will then put it in there, and that'll be enough salt. So I'm just gonna place these in there. So I'm just gonna place these in there just like that. And I know I probably should have used a bigger pan, but this one will do. All that matters is that the chicken is cooked. I am not going to put any aluminum foil over this because I want the wings to kind of cook without the foil. I'm going to place this in the oven on a center rack. You could probably try the top rack, but I just prefer the center rack. That's how I would typically cook them. And it is 8:33 now, so I will check on these about 9. I'll say about 9:03. 9:03. 9:03, 9:05. I'll check on them. And we'll let them cook. But until then, see you soon. What up, YouTube? And I am back. Right now the chicken is cooking. I would like to prep for the sauce. So what I want to do for the sauce is I want to take a little bit of olive oil, about that much, and I actually want to take my minced garlic and onions, and I'm going to, I want to do like medium-high heat, and I'm just going to let that heat up. Alright, so now that my olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, is actually heated up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, not a lot, but just a little bit of minced garlic, and I'm just going to cut the heat down a little bit. Just a little bit of minced garlic. And I'm going to actually take the rest of these onions. Not a very lot. Oh, and I say the aroma of this is so nice. I have the heat to about 7 now, but because I don't want my garlic to burn, I'm going to cut it down to about 6. Now all I'm doing is just kind of caramelizing the onions and just kind of letting that garlic just infuse with the, I'm going to remove this. Just let it infuse with the onions, and the aroma is really nice. So I would just say cook the garlic until it becomes fragrant, and it's slightly starting to brown, which it is. Oh, that smells really nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take am not measuring this, but I want a lot of sauce for my chicken, so I definitely want to make sure that I use an ample amount of honey. Well, definitely a generous amount of honey. So for this recipe, I'm gonna say just enough to coat the pan. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my soy sauce and I'm just gonna add the soy sauce. And that's all that I'm gonna add. And I'm gonna take a little bit of ground mustard. Just a little bit. Then I'll just use a little bit more garlic powder and a little more of onion powder. And what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm actually going to add a little bit of stock to this. Just a little bit. Not very much. Now I'm going to heat this back up to about 7.5. And I'm going to let this just kind of simmer. It's going to start to boil. And I'm going to let that cook. It's going to continue to let it cook. Let it come to a boil. Look at that. Nice. That's why I like cast irons, because they heat up so fast and they distribute the heat evenly, and it just cooks food a lot faster. And I am back, and I've just taken my chicken out of the oven. I cut it down to 200 just to kind of like keep it warm, but it's been cooking for about 38 minutes, and it is like a golden brown. The Goya seasoning added a nice tint of orange to it. And just so you know, I cleaned these from earlier, so. And they did not stick to the pan. And the steam. I'm just gonna lay them just like this in the sauce. And the sauce will actually finish cooking these. I like the frothiness of the sauce. I don't know if I can say that, but it almost has like a beer suds look to it. But it's actually gonna simmer down. It's gonna thicken and become almost like a syrup. So the chicken is really done. I just want to let it absorb this sauce. So I let it cook in the sauce. I'm gonna put that down. And I'm gonna get my and the sauce is actually seasoned perfectly. It's not too salty, and you have to be careful when you're doing like that soy sauce, because if you add too much, Yeah, it's not gonna come out right. So just be modest that soy sauce contains a lot of sodium. If you are concerned about sodium, you could always get the one that has less sodium, but I chose this one. So I'm just gonna let that simmer down. I'm gonna keep letting it simmer, and this is gonna thicken. And this is the final product. As you can see, the teriyaki sauce is actually thickened. It's more syrupy like, which is exactly how I like it. It smells phenomenal. So this is my honey garlic teriyaki chicken with white rice. Simple recipe, tastes phenomenal.